Okay, so this will be a recording for everybody's favorite Malaka, Kinetic theory, or I guess technically Kin's friend. If I butchered that over some horribly offensive Greek word, rip me. But yeah, so this will be for Chili Burger. So the idea is, how do you fight AK? And, besides just letting the AK commit suicide for playing AK in Tekken 7, how do you fight AK from the perspective of Kazuya? And just kind of like figuring that out. I mean, you're a Genbu. You got like a good amount of wins. Maybe that's something. But ranks don't. Ranks are a funny thing in Tekken 7. Okay, so I'm slightly confused into the situation. I'm not sure if it's like... Okay, so... Blah, blah. Okay, so this is the person that you'll be fighting in the first to 10, right? And what exactly you just basically want? How do you deal with this character? A big thing going forward is just kind of like reading the opponent's moves. AK is a character that's pretty versatile, right? He has every option available to him that is available in Tekken. He has a electric whiff punish. He has a long range easy whiff punish with forward 2-1. He has a wave dash. He has lows, throws. You name it. If there's a Tekken tool, he has it, right? And so a lot of it also translates to what can he use against you. He can use everything. He's got every tool in the book. They might not be the best in their class. Unfortunately, some were given away and made better, but that's a whole different discussion. So a big thing that you want to be focusing on is also take a look at these matches yourself. If this is the person you're going to be fighting in that first 10, right? What type of habits do you see on their side? What type of methods of attack do they favor to use? Because you can only learn the matchup so much, and a lot of it's going to come down to figuring out what method of attack he likes to use and countering that. Because you can get a lot of mileage if he's someone who prefers to use a lot of like lariat for pressure, dark upper, etc., stuff like that, or if he likes to use his throws. So that should be a big key point going forward. So for right now, we'll just be seeing what you can do, where you're currently at, what you can do for the future, and then it's like next Sunday is the first to 10, right? So it'll be like a situation of, look, here's where you're at currently, here are some areas that you can work on and what to do going forward. But a lot of it is going to come down to what do you want to prioritize, right? Just kind of visually confirming some moves, because I don't think, it's not like this dude's going to be doing a lot of like the easy to shut down stuff right away. Like if he's spamming forward 2-1, I guess we'll find out. That'll be a thing. So as I try to like analyze and see, hey, here's what's going on your end, here's what you could be improving on. At the end of the day, you just kind of have to make a judgment of like, okay, this is what I'm going to consider a high priority to work on, and just focus on that. Oh, nice. Oh. Oh. Are you guys playing on friends accounts? Rip. Oh, there's a lot of... God, there's just so much stuff. Where... Oh, nice. Oh, that did less damage than I thought it would. Oh. Holy shit, that was an action-packed round. That was a roller coaster of emotion. Was that like 30 seconds? Holy shit. Oh man, that was gonna be a lot. Oh, this is gonna be a lot. Okay, so right off the bat, here's a problem that you gotta kind of like. Oh man, maybe I should just redo the intro. Holy shit. Okay, so let's talk about this situation, right? Here's the main issue. So you start off the match. The AK does back one, or not back one, he just does a jab. He does jab and a down forward one. So right here, you have to keep in mind that you got hit, right? 99, 95, 99, whatever. A vast majority of the time that when you get hit in Tekken, it is still the opponent's turn. So they get to continue their pressure and you don't want to necessarily challenge them too much. But right here, for whatever reason, you're pressing in between stuff or you're letting go. A very critical aspect of this game is never trust neutral block. So neutral block is when you just let the stick go and the game is supposed to automatically guard for you, right? Like if you're in the neutral position, your character will just automatically be blocking. Why they decided to implement this, I have no idea. I'm sure there's some like mechanical reason or some shit, something to do with like backdash canceling. I don't really know or care. The point of the matter is neutral block sucks, right? And a million things cut through it. A million things will just be blocking, but you'll still get hit and you're like, what the fuck, why did I get hit? Because you were neutral guarding. Is there like a more in-depth mechanical reason? No. The only thing we know is you were neutral guarding and whatever you were trying to neutral guard against just powers through it. It's stupid. So always hold back to block, right? If it is not your turn, if it is not your time to attack, always hold back to block and make sure that you are you are not neutral guarding. Now, let's say it is the other aspect where for some reason that you're trying to press buttons here. This is more of like a matchup familiarity thing, but just basically until you know better, don't challenge strings. Wait for this AK to like kind of finish his string, and you'll start to see like clearly that's the end of a string, and it's easier for me to recognize it because I'm a bit familiar with AK. But it's important to just kind of like just block, and then you gotta start developing a sense for these opportunities of when to attack and when to hold back. Because if you keep trying to press stuff, the AK will continue to like keep pressing buttons into you, and next thing you know, you're gonna eat a counter hit launcher. So it's like this constant brawl. Good whiff punish. Don't know what happened there. Rip. But that's another thing. I'll talk about combos later. But the idea is like try to just block or utilize movement to get yourself in a good range for a whiff punish. You're Kazuya. Being up close and personal like this, right, up in this AK's face and this sort of distance is not where you want to be. You want to be a little bit of a distance between you and the opponent, and so if on the chance that he whiffs something, you're able to whiff punish him really easily with flash punch or 1-1-2, right? Because trying to brawl here is not going to be in your favor. It's just not going to happen. AK's tools are going to be faster than yours, and he's able to play the small Tekken game at a better rate than you can. You do have Flash Punch, but AK has a bunch of tools that high crush, and I don't know about evasion, but he'll be able to just control this range better than you can, right? Like your 15 frame down forward one's not going to do much here. So try to just, in this distance, maintain just solid defense. Just block, wait for him to do something that you recognize as punishable, or wait for him to just kind of like, whether he moves back or not, and give yourself some breathing room with movement. Try to like backdash here. If you're not confident in your movement, then instead try to just keep blocking, and then some critical tools with Kazuya, because all he really has at the close range is flash punch, your one jab and your 1-1, right? That can be, you can really have a lot of mileage with just jabs, because the fastest interrupt is 10 frames, right? That's your fastest tool, unless you're fucking Yoshi, which is a whole different story. And 10 frames is really fucking fast. You get through a lot of stuff, right? So knowing when to sort of utilize that tool and challenge him. For the most part, just try to stay blocking. Talk about combos later. Okay. So what happened here, right? Your forward 4 is blocked. Let me actually check this so I don't just talk out of my ass. Okay, so you're -9. And what are you doing here that gets you counter hit? Or what that you're -9 and he's doing something that just demolishes whatever you're doing. Frame data is a lot, and my understanding from what Kane was telling me is that you're kind of like new-ish to Tekken, so I'm not going to try and like barrage you with frame data. But when you use moves, try to be very mindful of situations where you are -6 to -9. You are safe. The opponent cannot punish you, right? But it is not a situation where you want to move around in. Without going into the technical details, the TLDR is basically when you're -6 to -9, if you try to move around a lot, the opponent has a lot easier time clipping you because the backdash just takes too long, right? You're really not able to move around as much as you like. So be mindful of those situations where you're -6 to -9 and you just have to accept your turn is over. You have to wait like a second-ish, like around a second, and let's see if the opponent does something and just kind of like wait for your turn to move. Because if you try to move around right now, the AK can do whatever he wants and he's going to hit you out of it, right? And this is all, of course, assuming movement. If you're pressing a button, like if you're trying to do a move, don't do that. Don't do that. Nothing Kazuya does is going to beat forward 2-1, which is the move AK did on you, right? If you're -9, even flash punch, even your jab is going to take essentially 19 frames to come out, right? You got 19 frames to worry. So you're going to be slower than the AK doing forward 2-1, right? So again, it's not the issue of like, here, know all this frame data and know what to do. It's more about watch out for these critical situations that you're putting yourself in. Forward 4 is a good move, no doubt about that. But it's more about making sure that you don't try and get too greedy and try to like steal back your turn or try to be like, oh, I can keep pressing buttons. No, you can't, because all the opponent has to do is press any like 90% of any button they want, and they'll be able to beat you. So you have to be very careful in those situations. Decent whiff punish. Okay, you also do that a lot where you kind of like try to press a few buttons and then you're not sure what to do, and then you just do down forward 2. Down forward 2 is punishable, right? AK has a punish for it. How punishable is down forward 2? Oh, -12. Damn. He can't get shoulder, that sucks. So in this distance, I'm still 90% sure AK can, jab punch. Oh no, he has back 1-2. Yeah, back 1-2 is gonna reach you. So try to be very careful about using these moves. Use this move first. Okay, sorry. Let me rephrase that. To first use this move, the move you just did, right? Oh shit. The move you just did, the little like this one right there, down forward 2. Amazing move. Amazing move. It's ridiculous. However, it's punishable on block, and if you're too predictable with it, the AK gets a pretty good punish opportunity. And you don't want to. You think about it this way: if you keep using the move, right, and you don't get, if the opponent just keeps blocking it, all you're doing is handing your opponent an opportunity to be like, please, here, take this free damage, just eat away my life. And AK's standing punishes are like pretty solid, right? So here's the thing you gotta do. Condition them with lows first, right? I would say highs and lows, but I'm not gonna tell like someone who's like newish to Tekken to be like, yeah, just do electrics and you'll be fine, right? First, try to use your lows, and if you can do electric, more power to you, right? Try to use your lows to condition your opponent to duck. So use a lot more hell sweep, use a lot more down back 4, and then when the opponent is a lot more afraid of your lows or your highs or whatever, and they start ducking or they try to move around, that's when you start doing down forward 2, right? You don't start with down forward 2. You first see what your opponent likes to do. If they like to duck, by all means do this. But first you need to make sure that your opponent has a reason to duck. So down back 4, which is an amazing low, hell sweep, already an amazing low, etc. Right? So first do that, give your opponent reasons to duck, and then start doing down forward 2. I'm like, oh, this guy's a mighty ruler. I'm sure this should be an interesting fight. What a time. What a time to be alive. Alright, look. This move that AK does right here, right? After whatever the fuck this is. Down back 3 is on the borderline of seeable, right? This is like a high priority, like lab against this move, practice against this move, and try to set up practice situations where you can practice reacting to it. Because if you can get that reaction down, it doesn't, and reactions are hard to develop, I totally get that. But even if you're able to block one of those, that is a huge damage punish swing in your favor. Right. I don't know if Kazuya has neutral hop kick or what's his like big ass crouching punish. I mean, it could just be twin pistons, but anyway. Just blocking one of those gives you a huge damage opportunity, right? And if the AK is already doing this, he's going to get blown up by just ducking, right? Because ducking can shut down a lot of his highs. It can shut down lariat, blah, blah, blah. It can shut down this low, blah, blah, blah. So trying to develop that reaction to it, or just be on the lookout of like, okay, this is where you got to focus on like trying to read your opponent. And if he's already using this move, you can't let him get away with it, right? Developing this, I don't know about like within a week, but it's very critical to do because it opens up a lot of opportunity for you, and it really takes that tool away from them. It's no longer just like free damage. It's like Snake Edge, where because it's on that, Snake Edge is a bit slower than this. Then the main goal is, if he's using this tool, it's a tool that you have a bit of control over because you can react to it or see, okay, the moment. Okay, look at this. Look at it. Think about it this way, right? Look at wait for it. Okay, look at how big this fucking furry is, right? Look at how big and tall he is, right? And then just you can easily react to the moment that he starts ducking. Like the moment you see this dude get low to the ground, you just block low, right? No other move he has shares this animation. And if you're able to just sort of, the moment you see this guy ducking, just immediately just duck yourself, you'll be able to block and get a huge punish. So try to see if you can focus in on that. Oh, nice. Rip. Rip. Okay, and so that's another thing, right? If you don't think you're gonna reach, if you don't know for sure you're gonna reach your opponent, don't press a button. Just don't. AK's whiff punishers are some of the best in the business, and he's gonna whiff punish you, right? You whiffing a button, right, where your opponent isn't blocking it, puts you in a much tougher spot than if the opponent had blocked it, obviously. But just in general, it's like, look at how long you're standing there, right? Let's take a look at how long you're standing there. You whiff. You're still recovering well before, and all the AK has to do is see that, oh, he did a button in front of me, forward 2-1. So make sure to try and avoid doing that. Don't, unless you know the opponent's gonna block it, don't try to throw out moves, right? And think about it like this. Look at this. Okay. You have a slight health lead. The opponent, the AK his back is to the wall. Who's gonna really be on the offensive here? The AK who has to really get out of the wall before he dies to Kazuya Oki, or the Kazuya who's clearly in the advantageous position of, hey, my fucking back is not to the wall, right? So the AK is gonna be the one who's gonna be like, fuck, I need to get out of here, and he's gonna try and like throw out moves and try to get out there as soon as possible. So you don't have to do anything, right? Try to be on the lookout for situations where the opponent is in a bad spot and you know that they're going to try and freak out and do what they can to get out of that shitty situation. And that's where you just go, okay, I forced you into a bad spot. I'm going to see what you do and then punish accordingly. Right. He does forward 2-1. Oh, nice. Rip. Oh, nice. See, so it feels like you're catching on to it right here, where you do the low. Maybe you fucked up a crouch dash and you still got it. But you see, the moment this dude dives down, just block, right? There are some situations where you want a low parry, but against these big ass lows like that, they stagger block, so AK just dies on block. So make sure you're blocking. Try to avoid just focusing on a low parry. See if you can. The blocking leads to so much higher damage than the low parry. It's insane. But anyway, let's keep going. Ah, a tragedy. See, so right here. Right? After you block the low, if you just focused on like do a jab into down back 4, I'm pretty sure you would have gotten it, right? Because you haven't done an entire down back 4 the entire round. The AK is not going to really be on the lookout for it. At the end of the round, people are always on the lookout for lows, but I think he would have been fine. Oh, wait, so what happened? What happened here? Ah, okay, you pressed into something. That's fine. Oh, the tragedy. Alright, look. So in this situation, don't, at this close range, don't try to like start your offense like this. You gotta wait for the AK to slow down his pace because it's too easy for you to get clipped. Kazuya's moves are very slow. He's not like this crazy offensive pressure monster, right? He's about getting one good hit in through Hell Sweep, through Electric or something, right? And then boom, all of a sudden you're in this crazy Oki blender until God knows when, right? He has a lot of moves that if you're able to do it, you just kind of just keep doing the moves, right? He's not someone who's like, all right, I'm just gonna keep stealing turns with my crazy counter hit launchers. He does have a few. They're very standout, right? But they're also still very slow, so you risk getting clipped. Try to play a bit more compact. Try to rein in on the let me just keep pressing buttons, hoping to start something. Because right there you get caught. Oh. It would be hilarious if Kazuya got like a special ultimate tackle follow-up before AK did. Oh, that'd be so funny. Can AK even do manual ultimate tackle? I think he can. Whatever. That's a whole different discussion. Okay. So right here, fantastic. You moved out of the way. The AK is very aggressive in pressing buttons. So this gives you two critical points of information. That the AK is going to be pressing buttons on wake up. And you have two, you also didn't whiff punish. So that's a problem. But okay. The main problem is that the main focus should be, okay, this AK is going to be pressing buttons on wake up and I need to take advantage of that. Right? It gives you knowledge of what your opponent can do, and now you're better equipped to be like, okay, now that I know he's going to press buttons in the future, try to focus on what can I do as a result. Right here should have been the whiff punish. I don't know. Does Kazuya only have electric? I'll talk about that. I'll talk about like whiff opportunities a bit more. 1-1-2 is your friend, right? Your flash punch combo is one of the best strings in the fucking game. It's hit confirmable. It's an amazing 10-frame punish. And it's a really fast whiff punish. It's for those whiffs where you're like, fuck, okay, I know he whiffed, but I'm too slow to do electric, or I can't do electric. I'm too slow to do whatever move. Anybody, even if you're like the slowest person on the planet, aka me, I have like shit reactions. Anybody seeing whiff has plenty of time to just go 1-1-2, right? It's so easy. So anytime that your opponent whiffed a button, go for it. Just go for that 1-1, and then if you see the 1-1 hit, do the 2. Right? Because yeah, it's not like a launch whiff punch, which would be ideal, but it's still free damage, right? Your opponent whiffed a move, you get free damage and a knockdown into Oki and whatever else you want, right? So always be on the lookout for those opportunities of like, oh, they pressed a button. Trust me, 90% of the time, any button they pressed, if you're at this distance and it doesn't, if they whiff, 1-1-2 will get you there, right? Avoid. That's another thing. Avoid doing tsunami kicks, right? The down forward 4, because down forward 4-4, right? Because that's I'm 90% sure that's launch punishable. Holy shit! Yeah, this move right here, if the opponent blocks it, they get to launch you. Like AK is gonna hop kick you. It's important that he didn't, but that's a whole different situation. When do you use this move? Oh, it's your 13 frame punish? That's so weird. Yeah, because this move is like shit on hit. It's like fine. Yeah, I guess it's the 13 frame punish. Weird. Anyway, yeah, don't throw out this move. Forward 4, right? This is the move you want to use, right? This move right here is godlike. This move is amazing, right? The opponent blocks it, they have to deal with flash punch. The opponent gets hit by it, it's still your turn. You get to do whatever the fuck you want. The opponent gets counter hit by it, it's a launch. Always abuse this move. Stay Stay away from this one. Don't abuse this one too much, right? Don't, unless you know the opponent's ducking and you want to like fuck with them because it's super fast, right? There's no way they're gonna react to it. Some people would say, oh, you can react to this. This shit's hard to react to. I don't think this GIF is doing it justice because it almost looks instant, which would be fucking busted. But yeah, this move is fast. It's like your mid check of like, okay, I think my opponent's ducking. Let me just do it. This is the one you want to use for pressure. This is the move you want to like make them block and then just do 1-1. And if they press into anything, there's literally nothing they can do that's gonna beat 1-1, right? Even a dick jab is gonna trade with it, which is fine, right? So try to avoid using this move, but let's keep going. Okay, so this is another thing, right? If you whiff a button like this and you're still like, oh fuck, I just whiffed a button, just block. Just block. It is perfectly okay that you whiff the button, but if you keep trying to steal your turn, right, like that, you're just gonna get out of it because you're still in whiff recovery, right? Even though he didn't block the move or whatever, 90% of the time, if a move whiffs, right, there's a long ass time for you to recover in order to do your other move, which gives him plenty of time to just hop kick you. So you don't want to do that to yourself. If you whiff a move, just be like, okay, fuck it, I whiffed, but I'm just gonna block and hope that he's not sharp on the whiff punish, and then try to wait for my next opportunity to attack. Let's keep going. Rip. I think Kazuya has a pretty good high crush. Oh, this shit's like horrible on him. It's fine, it's your high crush. Kazuya down 3 is like your generic down 4. Wait, what the fuck is Kazuya down 4? Oh, he has a generic down 4. It doesn't have a GIF, but when your opponent is backing you into the wall and they're just doing like high moves like jabs and stuff, here you got hit with a mid with 2-1, which is whatever. I'm talking about like he's jabbing you right here, right? And he's going for another jab, he's doing it like back 2. Try to do like down 4, down 3, right? Those are your fast high crushes that'll be able to help you disrupt your opponent's pressure. Yeah, let's keep going. Let's back to 1 say. He should have fucking hopped it. I mean the block stun is short. Rip. Okay, let's just keep going. that one's tough, sure. He didn't punish. He didn't punish. Okay. This is tough. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's see what he does. Okay. So let's talk about this situation, right? He blocks the first hell sweep, right? And that gives you a lot of information to work with. One, that this dude is going to be like flash ducking or on the lookout. He's going to be looking out for your hell sweeps and stuff. And then to just keep doing it again. Yeah. So this is where you want to abuse, right? Like forward 4, right? Like if you kept doing this move on him and kind of like locked him in place with how powerful this kick is, he's going to be a lot less likely to just duck randomly like this, right? This is what you want to use to like okay, my opponent's ducking, they're not really pressing any buttons, so let me just keep doing this move until they stop, right? And that's where you want to like, that's how you'll be able to put on pressure. It just like how before when I was saying like, all right, don't use down forward 2. Don't use down forward 2 until you condition them with lows. Don't use hell sweep until you condition them to duck. Because think about it. Yeah, you've used like your mids before, but you've used a bunch of slow mids that, down forward 2 is like 15 frames, whatever. You're using a bunch of punishable mids and you're not really making him scared to really duck. And he's not really afraid of, in this situation, like when you're in the neutral like this, like you're doing a bunch of highs, right? Like you just keep doing electrics. And he's just ready. He's just like, all right. All this dude is just doing a bunch of electrics. I cannot. If I duck, I stop the electric and I stop the hell sweep. So there's not really any. There's not really any sort of reason for him to not duck there. So be mindful of the context of the situation, right? Like, don't do down forward 2 until you condition them with lows, and then don't do stuff like hell sweep until you use like your more powerful mids, right? If you used instead forward 4, you'd have a lot better time just kind of like making them scared to duck. Let's see how this goes. That's the Oki. Oh, this is fine. Okay, that's another thing of like, this is the second time that he's done something where he just immediately goes into down back 3. Try to set that situation up in the lap, right? Where the AK hits you with the combo, you tech, and then when you tech, when you press a button and you do the quick roll to get out of the wall, just block low. You should still have plenty of time to block low and prevent him. He's probably doing that because he's expecting a tech, and down back 3 was basically, it was made into a homing low. So it could be, well, I'm not gonna get into like the fucking, the tech jargon and mumble jumble or whatever. If you press a button at the wall to tech roll, that's solid. Getting it off the wall is a good idea. But you also got to remember, the opponent can still do stuff to like try and keep track of you, right? Like he has down back 3, which is a homing low. So make sure that when you tech roll, don't just block low. Make sure to be blocking low. This is the second time he's done that, and especially at the wall, it kind of gives you this feeling of like, okay, he's gonna be trying to like keep doing stuff. He's gonna keep trying to do down back 3s at the wall and stuff. Yeah, so that's the sucky part, is that I don't know if Kazuya gets like a launch punish in that situation, right? Kin will tell you, right, if you block this move, the AK should die, right? This is launch punishable. The problem is you're playing Kazuya, who it's tough to be like, oh yeah, just launch with Kazuya, because he doesn't really have like a hop kick or a standard launching down forward 2. But right here, whatever move you're doing 1-2, which is understandable. 1-2 is like perfectly fine. But right there, 1-1-2 would have been your friend. Like doing 1-1-2 is perfectly fine. You're getting a knockdown punish. Now, like think about how far it knocks down, right? So look at how far can I pause this? Okay. Look at how far away this Master Raven is knocked away, right? So if you do flash punch combo, is it fun to do flash punch combo when you could have launch punish? No. But it sets up a favorable situation for you, because now the opponent has to approach you and you have very stellar keep out tools, or you can start wave dashing into the opponent to set up your Oki and mix ups, right? So using flash punch opens up a lot of valuable opportunity for you. So try to keep that in mind. Just use it as your punish. It's perfectly fine, right? Even though it's not like an ideal punish, the important part is you're still making sure you get the punish, right? Getting 1-1-2 into this favorable knockdown situation, as opposed to like this, whatever this 1-2 situation was, it works out so much in your favor. So try to be mindful of those opportunities. Make sure you get your 1-1-2 punishes down. I don't know what move that is. Oh, that's funny. Oh, nice. Nice.
Η οποία είναι καλή, είναι πολύ καλή, σου δίνει plus frames πολλά, αλλά το θέμα είναι ότι είναι high, οπότε σκύβεται.
Against AK here, yes, it's scary that AK has a lot of command grabs, and especially because Giant Swing breaks the rules, because it looks like a 1+2 throw, but it's a 1 break. Let's be real, 90% of the time, the AK players just go for Giant Swing, because it's like the hype throw, and it's the one they all practice, right? If you gotta go for the guess, like if you don't see the 2, like if you can't look at hands, I mean, I'm lazy, I should be practicing that, but whatever, I don't really care. If you can't look at hands, try to be mindful of like, okay, what's a common strategy, and just go on a read, right? All the time, I just break throws because it's like reading that the opponent's just going to go for the giant swing there. And once you start breaking the giant swing, then you start, they'll start doing the two throws and other stuff, and it's very easy to like read your opponent, and it's more about you're able to read it on that critical moment of like you break the first grab and it gives you a lot of breathing opportunity, and now they're gonna be like, fuck, this dude's breaking my grab, let me do for the other throw, and then the next time you feel like they're gonna go for a throw, you just duck, right? I'm going off tangent. The point being is 90% of the time the AKs always start with like giant swing, right? You're not fighting someone who's at that level of like, dude, I'm on that Yomi layer 5, let me do my buffered, Hades throw or whatever, Hades drop shit. The dude's just gonna do giant throw or giant swing, whatever. Oh, nice. My friend. Why? What were you at that distance? The AK is not waving in front of you, right? Like, what are you hoping to hit out of here? Kazuya's rage drive is one of the best in the game. One of the best, absolute best. So you gotta make sure you hold on to that shit. And more importantly, you have rage, right? Like, your damage just gets an overall boost due to rage. So you want to make sure you save it for when you know that it's gonna happen. At the distances you're at, right? Like, oh, I moved back too far, whatever. Let's keep going. Oh, did I go too far back? I don't remember. Oh, no, yeah. Okay, so look. So, like, right here, right? Look at how much distance is between you and your opponent. If he's not dashing into you, because he hasn't done that this entire match, in what world is your rage drive going to work out? Don't throw away your rage like that. Okay. Right. Oh, that's another funny thing, right? If he finishes that string, sides it up 2-1, death sandwich, you actually launch him for it, which is pretty fucked up and funny, right? So always be on the lookout. If he finishes that string, boom, while standing 1-2. Oh, good duck. Oh, that should have been while standing 1-2. Oh. Yeah, there's just no way. Okay, let me do one more round and we'll call it a day, I guess.
Δεν νομίζω ότι τον βολεύει και κάποια πίστα ξεκάθαρα. Τον ξεβολεύει αυτή με τα πατώματα.
That's solid. Whatever. Okay, so this right here should have been Hell Sweep. Because you're starting off with these moves, and at the distances you're at, the AK is not like flash ducking you in terms of like the electric, and this is really hard to like know when to Hell Sweep and when to not, right? Or it's actually hard to know when to not Hell Sweep because your reward's so good. So this right here should have been Hell Sweep because he's not really expecting it, and now that you're up close, he's just been more likely to block low when you're up close, and you're too slow. Now that you're up close, he's gonna be more likely to press buttons against you because he knows he's got like faster buttons or whatever, or he just wants to be aggressive. So your Hell Sweeps aren't gonna work out because one, he's either gonna be blocking low, or you're just gonna get counter hit out of them. Right. Like he's just hitting. Oh, that's so interesting. He's just hitting you out of stuff. Oh, rip. Oh, nice. Oh shit. Oh shit. Nice. Look at this Oki. Oh, rip. Oh, a tragedy.
Πόσες φορές το έχω φάει αυτό, το down for ένα
nice.
Και μετά electric. Πόσες φορές το έχω φάει.
Yeah, that's right. Put him in the blender. Well, we're gonna watch that back later. I actually gotta remember. Oops. 8:16. So around 7:30. We'll watch that round again.
Όπτικα από τον Tekken,
Κι
θα πάρει το
όμως,
κόμπο όμως.
άλλο κόμπο. Προσπαθεί
Yeah, you gotta brush up your combo
να τον
routes.
πάει
I don't know
στον
what's
Νίκη, το
happening
βλέπεις
there.
έτσι.
Έχει
Oh,
Προσπαθεί συνέχεια να τον πάει
that's another tough one.
στον τοίχο,
But
αλλά
we'll
μάλλον
just
δεν
keep
είναι αυτό
going.
το optimal για να
Oh
τον πάει στον
shit.
τοίχο.
Oh, that's so funny.
Θα πιέζει με τα frames
Ω,
του
ω,
Tekken.
Rip.
Τελειώνει με το low. Αρκετά γρήγορο low το συγκεκριμένο. Είναι το νομίζω.
Κάτω 4 πρέπει να
Oh shit. Nice. When your opponent, like, if anytime your opponent's on the ground like this and you're up close in their face, just dash in and do this move. Is this the move? No, that's something different. I'm a fucking idiot. Wait, why is that so slow to start up? Oh. Because it's like stupidly easy. Huh. Here we go. Here's the kicker. Alright. Any point your opponent's on the ground, this move hits grounded, hit them with this because it's so good. It's very safe and easy to do, and it hits them out of anything they try and do. But that's for later.
Εδώ με το σκόρ υπενθυμίζω 1-0 υπέρ Tekken. Ωραίο sidestep. Αμυνιακού κόμπο, αν θα κάνει το optimal. Δεν κάνει το optimal το οποίο είναι
Μάλλον
το
προσπάθησε να
εύκολο.
τον πετάξει.
Alright, well,
Και το
let's just keep
να
going.
σταματήσει να τρέχει.
Ωραίο κόμπο, 68 damage.
Nice. Nice. There we go.
Όχι.
Εδώ είναι πολύ καλό.
Got him. Ah, I got him. GG's. Oh, there we go. There we go. Wait, so what did you hit him out of?
Ωραία απάντηση από τον Chili.
Oh, he's trying. Why the fuck would he try and do down forward 3? Whatever. Whatever. Good on you. You hit him out of it.
Το downforward του.
Oh,
Θα προσπαθήσει πολλές
oh,
φορές να
this is
βγάλει
unfair. Yes, yes. That's what I'm talking
Θα
about.
τον νιάξει νίκη.
Ah, oh, tragedy.
Έτσι
All right. Let's just see how this round ends.
ειλικρινά.
Oh no.
Απάντηση τώρα από τον Tekken. Δεν είναι αυτό το
Alright.
optimal του Armor King.
Let's just keep going.
Αλλά
The tragedy. Okay. This video is already too fucking long, but let's go over some key concepts here. So in the match that went like super well, why did it go well? What was the reason? Oh, I was like super fast. You got like 2 rounds off you easy.
Πάει στον τοίχο.
να τον πάει. Άλλο κόμπο.
Και Tekken.
Για
I already got the
πόσες
round.
φορές.
Okay, so right here, let's analyze what went right in this match.
Προσπαθεί
So
με πολλά downforward του.
you're advancing, you're advancing. Look at him. He whiffed a move, right? He whiffed a move. You're not in range for the whiff punish, but you are in range to enforce a mix-up. By the time he recovers, he can't do any of his like panic tools really easily. He has to sort of take your mix-up because he fucked up his attempted whiff punish. So be mindful of these opportunities. When faced with a whiff, you have 2 sort of routes that you can take. You can try and go for a whiff punish, which you gotta gauge the distance and try to figure stuff out. Obviously, this is too far for, you know, flash punch or 1-1-2 or whatever. Maybe electric would have worked, but I don't know. So here's the thing, right? Or you either go for the punish or you go for a mix-up opportunity. Treat these whiff punish opportunities. If you can't get the punish, you have the opportunity for a mix-up. Because the opponent is recovering from the whiff, they won't have enough time to suddenly do another move, right? At the ranges you're at. Even something as infamous as like Paul down forward 2. If you, once you're used to like the timing and stuff, the Paul doesn't have enough time to recover and move out of the way or do anything to like option select your incoming mix-up. They have to take the mix-up. So opportunities like this is where you go hell sweep, right? Like look at that. The opponent's recovering, they're just going to be holding back, expecting you to throw out a move, and then they just eat the hell sweep, right? Perfect. So you have to be mindful of those opportunities of like, okay, my opponent whiffs something, but I'm too far for a whiff punish, but I can do a mix-up. And that's really what you want to be doing as Kazuya. Just forcing them to deal with your power moves and then forcing them to make a mistake, which you then capitalize on, right? You can't be up close against AK, right? Like look at this round start when he's right in front of you, right? When he's up in front of you, look at him just poking with, you know, down one with down forward one and jabs and stuff like that. This is not a situation you want to be in, right? You have flash punch and that's kind of it. You don't really have like a scary 12 frame mid. How fast is down forward too? Yeah, 14 frames, whatever. You don't really have anything that's going to be like, all right, let me help control like this brawling situation, right? But if you instead focus more on like these fucked up with like that distance, like, okay, my opponent whiffed a button, here's my opportunity, boom, you're good to go. So what happened afterwards, right? So now the opponent's scared because after that first hell sweep, unless you're someone who's just been fighting Kazuya your whole life and you're well versed in the matchup, after that first hell sweep, everybody's like in a really fucked head state. They're just like, fuck, I don't want to be caught in, you know, in the 3 hell sweeps in a row. Nobody wants to be that Twitch clip, right? So now after that first knockdown, you get to dash in and then just do your easy mids, right? Easy. So this is like an easy opportunity for you to just kind of like, all right, do the mid and just put him in the blender. Do down back 4 here to get easy chip damage, hit him away, and now he's again at that prime distance where you can wave dash in and remember to wave dash in but also block, right? But wave dash in and force him to sort of take another mix-up opportunity. And he's just going to panic and try to throw out like a panic move like a hop kick or something. Right. So again, that's like the core idea of what you want to be doing. Focus on movement, focus on a whiff from the AK, and then boom, you're able to put them in the blender and just keep them there, right? How do we do this? What do we do here? Okay. I'm just gonna go through my normal rundown, and I'll try and like figure this stuff out as we go. Okay. Neutral, punishment / matchup knowledge, combos / Oki, and personal opinion stuff. Neutral. You gotta stop whiffing buttons. You're throwing yourself all over the place, and all you're doing is creating an opportunity for the AK to whiff punish you or just hit you out of stuff because you're picking the wrong times. It is perfectly okay to just block and just wait for an opportunity. When is the time to attack? Try to wait for the more obvious tells of, okay, my opponent just whiffed a button. I'm sure he's finished the move. Now it's my time to do a whiff opportunity, right? Or it's like, okay, my opponent's rushing in, but they're at like a super far distance, right? Like look at the distance where the AK tries to dark upper you. Look at that, right? Look at that super far, how far away you are. Even though he whiffs it, and look, he tries to whiff punish your electric, your failed electric, and his dark upper whiffed because dark upper sucks. But that's a whole different. Sorry, Ken. There you go. It fucking sucks. That's a whole different fucking shit show. So that's when you know of like you baited a whiff, and that's when so it's about waiting for an opportunity, whereas the opponent which is, you know, the opponent advances, does a move, you block and then punish it, or you're farther away, or creating an opportunity through baiting a whiff or freaking out your opponent. So right here, it's awesome because you baited a whiff, whether it was intentional or not, it doesn't matter. The opponent fucked up, and now they're still recovering, and then they have to deal with this mix-up opportunity. Or so you bait the whiff, or you freak them out and force them to like press buttons and freak out, right? So now you just knocked him down with hell sweep. He's like, fuck, I don't want to be caught in the blender, so he chooses to guess low, and then boom, gets hit by your mid, and then you get more guaranteed damage and all this other fun stuff, right? So that's what you want to be focusing on. Don't throw out all these moves all the time. Electric's like fine, that's a whole different scenario. But you know, throwing out down forward 2 all the time, throwing out sidestep 4, throwing out back 1, back 2 1, and all this other stuff. Compact the gameplay. Don't like try to minimize as much risk as you can. Don't put yourself in these shitty situations. Let your opponent put themselves in the shitty situations, and you take advantage of that. That should be your goal to focus on. Punishment / matchup knowledge. All right, let's do the fucking common strats. Oh man. Okay. This move is 23 frames. It's on the borderline of seeable, right? And it's like look at how big this fucker is, right? The moment you see him duck, you just block. Like, look at how low to the ground he gets. Right? That's your first obvious tell. And it's hard. I'm not going to say this is easy because you got to build up that reaction. But practicing and even just getting one of these blocked opens up a huge opportunity for you, right? So you want to make sure that you focus on punishing this and not letting your opponent get away with it. Another one, all right? This move. The moment you block that first elbow, you duck. You just duck, right? The moment you block that first elbow, the high, it's always a high. There's nothing else that's going to come out of this. There's only a high. So make sure you duck and launch him for it. He wasn't doing it too much, but he did it enough. And when he feels like his dark upper isn't going to work, he's going to rely on this as his whiff punish. So if you're able to bait a whiff and try to force him to go for a whiff punish, he's going to do this. And you need to make sure you're ducking and launching the last hit. So make sure you practice against this. I'll analyze more of the match, but I feel like throughout the match, this AK wasn't really doing a lot of like wall standing 4. So, oh, they don't have a GIF. God damn it. Kangoo, where's your fucking wall standing 4 GIF? Give it to Tib. So wall standing 4 is a fast mid that AK can do from wave dash. It's like his best mid option from it because all of his mid wave dash options are shit. He wasn't using a lot of mids to try and like pressure you and prevent you from ducking, right? So I feel like you can risk a bit more by just ducking and as a call out to see like this AK is just going to keep trying to throw you or do other stuff, right? So you can experiment with ducking a bit more to try and like as a call out, because a lot of like AK's powerful moves, right? CD2. So his dark upper or dark smash, whatever it is, that's a high, and that's also punishable, right? That's -10. That's easy flash punch punish. And then this, right? This lariat, that's like his closest like poor man's electric that he's gonna get, right? Those are both highs. So the incentive for you to duck is huge because if he whiffs either of them, they're just an easy launch punish for you. The reason it's fine to be ducking is that, again, this guy wasn't really doing a lot of mids to really challenge you. He just kind of waited for you to do a lot of moves and then try to like push you when you whiffed stuff. So I think it's fine. He used Shadow Step, which is kind of whatever. I don't know if Kazooie has like a fast low crush. This move's launch punishable by Kazuya. What a shit move. Alright, look. He's this move, he only did it like once. You don't have to really worry about it. But again, this is a low that you can launch punish, right? How bad is... Oh, it's only -12. That's fine. What's another like low move he has? It's just throws. A lot of AK's core offense, right, where it's like lows and throws, right? You can duck the highs and the throws, and then you can launch him easily. And a lot of his like fancier lows you can like launch punish easily, right? Like if he does Shadow Step 2, it shouldn't happen that much, so don't worry about it. You can launch him. If he does this move, which is a lot more likely, right, You can either low parry on a read or just block and get your punish, and he's not really going to get much from it. It's pretty low damage. The main thing that you need to be practicing in is against like making sure that you don't fall prey to this move, because this move gives him a lot of frame advantage on hit and just enables a lot of opportunity from it. And you need to make sure that's like, no, you can't just get this move for free. All right. Combos / Oki. All right. Here's the secret to Kazuya. Here's the secret, especially in the fucking AK matchup. You figure out what your combo is from this launcher, and then you just make sure to do that. You duck, you do while standing 1-2, because the AK will do a high move that'll just die to it, and then you make sure you get the best combo you can from it, right? Always make sure you brush up your combo. I felt like your routes were kind of weak. It felt like you just dropped a lot of combos, and you don't need to do max damage combos, right? You don't need to do some crazy max damage combo. I'm not telling you that. All I'm saying is this, is that you need to make sure you do a basic bread and butter route that you're not going to drop so you don't lose damage, and then ideally set up Oki, which I think his combos do fine in, right? So make sure that whatever, because this is going to be critical in your matchup against AK. When you duck as a call out, this is your while standing, this is your crouching launcher, because you don't have a hop kick, right? What's your up forward for? That's 27 frames. Yeah, that's not going to do anything. Does he have a neutral hop kick? Oh, no. Maybe? It doesn't have a GIF. I don't know what's up there. But this is going to be a critical tool, right? This is your punish to -13 lows, and this is your punish for when you crouch him, right? Maybe sometimes you can do... Is this the fucking move? Oh, baby. And this is another punish. So these are very critical, right? The reason you want this one is because it's stupid fast at 13 frames, and the reason you want this one is because it's a guaranteed, like, look at this chunky damage. So let's say you're gambling that, like, okay, he's gonna, you're like, okay, I ducked under something, but he's gonna keep trying to press buttons, but he's gonna be in whiff recovery, so his buttons are gonna have a bit of lag to them. You can just press this button and it'll hit him out of it. And it's also like an easy, like, let's say you just wave dash into the AK, you duck in front of him, and he's gonna like freak out and start ducking because he's expecting hell sweep or some other low, and then you just do this move, right? Like, look at that. You duck in front of him and you just do this move. Easy. Now keep in mind he can launch you for this, so don't like just free roll it, right? And especially if they try to like move around and start freaking out, try to move around, and then boom, while standing 2, you're golden. You just get an easy launch. So make sure that your combo routes are secure from these type of launches, because they're going to be critical when you start ducking against, AK. So combos, Oki, I thought were fine. Remember, here's your Oki setup. The opponent's knocked down. You're going to cycle between these 3 options, right? So the opponent's knocked down, they stay on the ground, you hit them with this, right? Because if they press into anything, it's a counter hit launcher. If they stay on the ground, you'll hit them and knock them away to further Oki situations. If you think, okay, they're not going to stay on the ground, so they're going to get up, you do this move. You do forward 4, and then boom, they're blocked into a really fucked situation, and you can just do flash punch as much as you want, right? Or let's say they stay on the ground, and you just want to like hit them for some chip damage, but you don't want to risk like whatever this is. Maybe let's say you don't have enough distance or some shit. Actually, I don't know. This move also hits grounded. This low is so good, right? This low hits grounded now, and so this is another situation of, this is another package of your like fucked Oki game. The exact details of when you want to do this versus this move, you'd have to check with like more Kazuya mains. I just know they both hit grounded, but this move's like insane. Okay, so try to focus on like utilizing those a bit more in your Oki setups. What else? Yeah, tightening up your combo routes, focusing on those Oki options, and then, oh baby, we get into my personal opinion stuff, right? Oh, they don't have a, they don't have like a they don't have like a punish for it. Oh, that's pretty good. Does it do more damage? Oh, it does like 2 points more damage. This isn't too bad. This can be your 10 frame punish, but we're gonna focus on this one. This stupid move, right? God, this move is so dumb. Okay. This is the core of what you're gonna be doing in the neutral. Just the first 2 punches that he did right there, they're -1 on block, right? They start, the first jab starts up in 10 frames. -1's amazing. You can do whatever you want at -1, right? You can maybe not continue pressure, that's a whole different story. You can move around, you can backdash, you can keep backdashing and bait a whiff out of the opponent. Entire rounds of Kazuya are just people freaking out about this move, trying to like duck, and then boom, you just do a mid when you're Kazuya, right? And the best part is that you make sure that you don't put yourself at risk. Because think about doing this versus whiffing this out in the open, right? When you whiff something like this, right, what's going to be a lot faster? A very fast like jab string, right? Or this move, right? This like just doing this out in the open and just asking you to get whiff punished by the AK. So this will be core in your game plan in baiting out whiffs. You just, anytime you're in a situation, right, you just do this move and you beat the shit out of them for it. You just wait for you just focus on the hit confirm. What's AK as well standing too? Oh, that's a pretty good startup. But he doesn't have enough time. There's nowhere near enough time to do anything. And you combine this move with any sort of plus frame situation you create. This move starts up in 10 frames, right? So when this hits, you're +4. When this is blocked, you're +4. And if it hits, it's free pressure, right? So no matter what the opponent does, nothing they do is going to be faster than this move. They have to block it, right? So focus on creating a bunch of situations where you force the opponent to block this move, or the opponent is kind of very like lax in neutral and you hit them with this. All right, good damage. Right. How fucking, where is this stupid move? Down by 4. 18 damage? God, that does so much, right? And oh baby, if this counter hits, you just hell sweep him. Oh, it's so much fun. So you utilize this move with this one on hit or block, right? And you just focus on freaking the opponent out. They just can never press a button, right? Try to focus on that. And then once they're scared, right? Once they're scared of challenging you, let's say they're like pausing, or they're, you know, whiff recovery or whatever it is, like if they're like, all right, I don't want to press anything because they'll get hit by this or this, whatever, then you start hell sweeping them, right? So that should be your focus, using a lot of these core fast tools that are not launch punishable on block, right? Remember, don't, how much is, oh wait, what the fuck is this move? This move seems good. Oh, that's pretty cool. Don't use it though. You're gonna be tempted to do the string, and I don't know. You don't need to. Oh, they don't have it. Okay. Don't use this move unless it's a punish or you're sure they're gonna duck. You can do the first part, down forward 4, just by itself is fine. Remember, just focus on abusing this move. Focus on abusing this move and using this one. What else is there? What's his, I just don't know Kazuya. Holy shit. Oh my god, this move is so fucking stupid. Oh, but it's okay. It's really hard to do. 25 damage? Oh my god, this move is so fucking stupid. I hate it. Anyway. Look, This is another one where if you're ducking, when you're ducking and you're trying to like freak the opponent out, like you just duck in their face, or if you can practice and do this out of wave dash, you're a fucking god, right? You just duck in their face, do this move, and they can't do anything, right? Because they'll be afraid of taking the hell sweep. It's safe on block. It tracks both ways. Might as well just be homing because it's fucking stupid. On counter hit, it knocks down. And on hit, you have all this frame advantage to do whatever the fuck you want, right? This move is amazing. So make sure you abuse that if you just want to duck in their face and then bait out like some sort of like, oh, do anything, try to do anything type of situation. Oh, I think this video is way too long. I started going off the rails. But that's kind of my personal opinion here, is that you just abuse like these moves that are super fast, and you create situations where the opponent can't really do anything, right? Like on hit, there's nothing the opponent can do. AK has a punch parry, but I don't know if it'll come out fast enough, right? And the idea is that you condition your opponent to respect you, and so once they start to second guess, like, oh, do I really want to challenge him? Then you start hell sweeping them, right? This should be your priority low first. Good damage, really amazing frame advantage on hit. So once you start doing that, and the hitbox on this move, this is fucking huge, but that's a whole different story. So once you start doing that, then, you know, and especially because this move is only -12, right? The AK is not going to be able to launch you. All the best he's going to get is wall standing 4, right? Unless he wants to like gamble with wall standing 2. But once you tighten up your moves and start kind of like playing a lot more compact and just using like these fucking busted moves, right? Then you'll be able to force the opponent into sort of like an unfavorable situation, right? Because this is insane, but yeah. Yeah, God, fuck this move. That's a whole different story. Is there anything else you should be doing? Hey, if you want to fuck with your opponent, you can just do this move a lot. Nobody ducks this move. Only do it like once or twice throughout the match, because if they start to duck, you're fucked. But that move is actually like pretty fucked up. Yeah, but yeah. So I'll before I fucking take up an hour of your time, just focus on utilizing these core moves to create situations where your opponent starts to be fearful and second guess themselves, right? Duck in their face and just do this move. Who cares? Just do it. Just do it. That's it. That's all you need to know. Jumping status? There's no... Oh, that's something else. Right? So focus more on, you know, playing compact. Don't whiff too many buttons against AK. Force, and then remember to when you want to pump the brakes, so before the AK starts trying to whiff punish you, right? And force him to play your game. Just kind of like, all right, freak him out, make him scared to press buttons, and then you start doing the Oki, you know, you start just doing hell sweep Oki into stuff. And then once he's like, all right, I'm just going to keep pressing buttons again, then you switch back to, all right, I'm just going to keep doing flash punch, right? You're just going to keep doing this move with the other stuff, right? Okay. Holy shit, this video is probably really long. I apologize for that. Excuse me. That was just kind of my 2 cents of like, look, compact your gameplay, focus more on abusing your really powerful moves, and making sure you don't overextend so that the AK just can't just like freely punish you. It would be cool to do electrics, but obviously that takes practice. But I don't know, Kazuya is pretty scary even without electric, right? So just just abuse your good shit and don't overextend and let the AK just get free punishes on you. Yeah, I totally rambled and I kind of went off the rails on this video. My bad. If you have any questions, let Kin know, and then Kin can just ask me and I'll be happy to just answer for you. I didn't watch most of this match. If you would like more sets and more just kind of like, hey, here's my extra thoughts on the situation, let me know. Let Kin know. These are fun. I don't mind doing them as long as they help out, right? And if this didn't help out, I'm just kind of like telling you stuff I already know. You already know. My bad. Rip. But yeah, if you have questions, feel free to ask. Let me know, and just kind of like, hey, I actually wanted more specific like anti-AK stuff and whatever. Sounds good. Yeah, just let Ken know and pass along the word. Later.